Hello everybody and welcome to a new book review, and this week I'm very excited because this is a book that I really loved for a very different reason to what you might expect. It's called One Up on the Market by Peter Lynch. So Peter Lynch is very famous for being one of the top investors in the world. He took over a hedge fund called Magellan and did extremely well. And he talks about in this book the difference between him as a hedge fund investor and you as somebody who is not. And so you would expect that he is going to talk about how you need to learn about what hedge funds are able to do, but he doesn't. He talks about the advantages that you as a non-hedge fund have over the hedge fund. So he shares some of his own principles, but also how he got started and how he learned that there are certain advantages that non-investment investors have because you have access to information and the ability to be able to make decisions that he as a hedge fund manager cannot, because there are people looking over his shoulder who tell him what to do. He has to follow certain rules, whereas you don't. And so he talks about how you can get access to information and the information that you already have on a daily basis. So from this point of view, this is a really great book for people who want to get started with investing, who don't know that much. Last week we talked about Warren Buffett and we read Snowball. And Snowball is interesting because it gives you the insight into the thinking of Warren Buffett, but not really as much into how he actually makes his investing decisions. It's more about his life and how he made his life choices. In this book, you are going to find out exactly what Peter Lynch suggests that you can do in order to be able to pick stocks, in order to be able to really see inside the mind of somebody who is investing. And so you get insights into the actual investing process, into the actual thought process of an investor like Peter Lynch. And not just from the institutional point of view, but from the point of view where you might be right now if you are getting started, or if you're already investing but you might not be doing as well as you'd like to, or if you're doing well but would like to do better. So this book has a very, very wide scope. It is very easy to read. I love the way in which it is written. It is very quick and easy to read. It is not a very big read. It is very interesting, and though I don't agree with absolutely everything, because I have a lot of different people that I follow and who I use as my mentors from that point of view, I don't obviously agree with everything, but a lot of the things that Peter Lynch says are very, very valuable. And even if you are already an investor, something that you might like to consider and take into your way of doing things. Now, every book you should be a little bit skeptical of. Don't just go and read a book and say, I'm going to implement it exactly like this. So maybe at the beginning you do, and then you tweak it. But if you've already read lots of other books, then you can take some of it and adjust your strategy based on the new things that you learned from that book. So, One Up on Wall Street, absolutely amazing book. I am going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And the only reason I do that is because, well, actually, no, I'm going to still give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And the reason for that is because, yes, there are certain things that I might not fully agree with, but it is really well written and it gives you such a great look into how you can have advantages as a non-institutional investor over the big institutions. And it is a really good book for anybody who wants to improve their investing from my point of view. So I'm looking forward to doing another review for you next week. Let me know in the comments which book you'd like me to review. Let me know if you've read or if you are going to read One Up on Wall Street and what you think. And I'm looking forward to seeing you for the next review. Thank you for joining. And remember to make the switch to unlock your rich, because there is a faster and more efficient way to doing absolutely everything.